Starfleet Academy spent half a season making us believe that this was primarily a light-hearted young adult show. Episode 6, Come Let's Away, proves otherwise. What we get is an hour of television that makes it clear the fun is over and the second half of the season is ready to get down to business. Because so far, we've had pranks, laser tag, debates, and a love letter to Deep Space Nine. However, now the cadets aren't just learning anymore. Now they are in danger. What starts as a routine training exercise aboard the derelict USS Miyazaki for our cadets quickly turns into a life or death situation where some cadets get to shine on the bridge of the Athena while others barely survive. And where this show excels over others is its willingness to make a sacrifice in order to give our characters a chance to grow and get closer to becoming the Starfleet officers they need to be. Introduced in the opening episodes as our main antagonist for the season, Nus Braka has been noticeably absent from the show so far, which was a shame, as his relationship with Aki was one of the show's most compelling threads. In episode 6 of Starfleet Academy, Come Let's Away, we don't just see his return. We get a deep dive into Aki's past and start to understand just how evil his character is. Braka has no problem manipulating and using those around him to get what he wants. He emotionally manipulates Ake by comparing the situation that Caleb finds himself in with her choice to sacrifice her son, a choice he claims to admire her for. And just when it seems that Ake has the upper hand, it turns out that she was never in control and was played all along. The result is devastating. Starfleet is outmaneuvered and lives are lost. And not just the untold number on a space station full of experimental technology. We also lose Bavi, the Vulcan from the War College who sacrifices himself to save Caleb. And despite his limited screen time, due to the way his character was used in previous episodes and the promise of what could be, his death lands with emotional weight. Paul Giamatti really lets rip as Nus Braka, delivering a performance that makes him instantly despised and, depending on how the rest of his story unfolds, could place him in amongst Star Trek's best antagonists. Every episode has focused on one of our cadets, and this week it's the turn of Terima. Since her introduction, a lot has been made out about her inability to control her telepathic powers. And in this episode, we finally see the true potential of her powers to fatal effect. It is revealed that when she was younger, she could not control her powers, and she was the one responsible for her father's deafness. And this is why she has the implant to dampen her abilities. However, due to her bond with Caleb, she removes this safeguard so she can communicate with him aboard the Miyazaki. And while her powers are impressive, really it's her empathy and her fear of seeing others hurt that make her truly dangerous. Over the last 3 episodes, the show has focused on particular cadets and their growth. Those stories were largely light-hearted, low stakes. Come Let's Away changes that completely. For the first time since the season opener, the cadets are put in real danger. The Furies are an excellent piece of alien design. I absolutely loved them. And Braka's description of them, that they hate what they are and want others to suffer alongside them, makes them deeply unsettling. Setting the episode aboard a derelict Starfleet vessel is the perfect contrast to the safety of the Academy. For the first time, the cadets aren't training in controlled conditions. They're fighting to survive. The only thing that didn't work was the reveal that Terima was responsible for her father's disability. By putting a tragic backstory on his deafness, it cheapens the message that disabilities are just something that are accepted in the future and not seen as an inconvenience. I mean, it kind of goes against a lot of what made Star Trek, and is a real misstep in what is otherwise a fantastic episode. If the first half of the season was about character development for our cadets, this episode makes it clear that the main story of the season starts now. Nusbraka was intriguing in the opening episodes, but now reveals himself to be a formidable foe. Ake is shown to have more skeletons in her closet than just what happened with Caleb. And as for the cadets, theory is over, the practical has begun. It was great to see that the character development from those episodes is really evident in this one. Darum acknowledges that it was Genesis's idea to track the cloaked vessel, showing that he can now put others first. Jaden is a warrior, protecting and prioritizing medical care for the injured Kyle. And Sam, she's even more confident and assured in what she brings to the team. Oh, and on the subject of Sam, after last week's episode where we finally see that she does have struggles around who she is, this week we also see her in danger physically. The final shot of her in sickbay malfunctioning leaves us questioning her recovery. While we see the away mission go wrong, we also see cadets on the bridge learning to act as officers, working a problem and presenting solutions, showing that Starfleet Academy isn't just about the hijinks that occur, but also about how the crews that we have been familiar with in other shows are trained. Considering the light-hearted approach so far, having such a tonal shift midway through the season was always going to be a big risk. However, in this case, I feel like it worked, and all the character building work over the first half of the season is really paid off in this episode. This episode had me hooked until its final moments, and may be my favorite episode so far. I look forward to seeing what the consequences are moving into the latter half of this season. This is the episode where Starfleet Academy stops being about who these cadets are and starts looking at who they're going to be. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to join the discussion, you will need to be subscribed to this channel, which also helps me push towards a 1,000 subscriber goal. So if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.